The next chapter is about to begin. Join us live every Tuesday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the American Contractor Show. Our mission is to bring you the latest tools, innovations, and knowledge to help you become the most informed contractor in your market. Knowledge is the ultimate power, and we are connecting you with the most knowledgeable minds in our industry. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. American Contractors, I hope you're ready. This one's for you.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
Good Thursday afternoon, everyone. Lee Meteorologist John Choquette here for our daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and RS Supplement and Balance Claims. You can check out their American Contractor Show wherever podcasts are available or on their Facebook page. Check them all out. Description below if you're watching us here on the Hail Trace Facebook page. So I'm going to jump straight into these weather headlines for today. There's some hail possible across Oklahoma, Kansas, and into the Northern Plains today. Nothing too wild, but hey, it's something outside of just the Dakotas and Montana and also New England. Looks like we'll see some more scattered New England storms this afternoon with that hail, near that marginally severe limits, half dollar size. And the Northern Plains are going to continue to hog that hail through the holiday weekend. We won't have a video tomorrow, just have a post. We're going to have the day off here at the office since the 4th is on Saturday. And of course, we'll be mapping anything that happens over the next couple days. Yes, some decent hail in Maryland yesterday after all. So with that, before we get into everything, we're going to compare the storm seasons. Now that we've gone through the end of June, it's your typical hail season from March to June. Compare how they were. So this was last year in March. We only had 388 reports. It was kind of few and far between. Most of us folks that last week of March. April was one of the record quietest. It was the second quietest April ever. And then May more than made up for that for about 2,000 reports. And then June was your pretty average busyness for 2019. So there's your recap of 2019. How did this year compare? We had more activity in March of this year, about 500 reports. It started around the same time, wasn't really too many differences, I guess. It was just a couple more storms. April was significantly different. This is actually much closer to average for April. The last couple of years have been very quiet, but unfortunately, it turned out that April was almost the busiest month. May had barely more, and that is below average for May. 1365, usually we're a lot higher than that, closer to that 1700. And then June, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, June was also pretty quiet as well. So we're running behind about 300 reports from where we were about this time last year. If you recall, 2019, we made up for this season over the course of the summer. So July, August, September were very busy. And this year, not looking as busy for these summer months here in the United States, especially with the chance of hurricane season will ramp up. So that's what we're looking at here. None of this counts until Denver gets a storm, yeah, unfortunately. And that's also one of the things that keeps the numbers a little lower. We did have more people impacted this time. However, places like Denver hasn't really seen a big hailstorm, and that keeps those numbers down a little bit. Places like Dallas had a couple big storms, but they didn't have the big epic storm, or just the one swath, brings in like 80 reports. So stuff like that kind of keep the numbers a little bit lower, along with the fact that it seemed like we had a lot of the activity, instead of just being over the course of like about 3 weeks in May and June, we had a lot of it in April, and then really stretched the remainder of it out over the 2 technically busiest months of the year, with a lot of breaks in between activity as well. So that's kind of what we're looking at 2020 compared to 2019. Overall here for your day today, we have 2 risk areas. We got a chance for storms here near Tulsa. You're going to be seeing some storms pretty soon, actually. Maybe some quarter-size hail, more gusty winds is likely. Oklahoma City, you'll probably see some rain at least a little bit this afternoon. Help keep the temperatures from hitting 100 today, probably. And then up to golf ball size hail from about Rapid City down south to far northwestern Oklahoma. Storms will pop up. They'll be kind of isolated, but the strongest ones could have up to that golf ball size hail, and you could also see a low chance for some storms maybe as far north as Bismarck and towards the Canadian border. And finally, here in the northeast, like I mentioned, there's a chance we could see some storms. Again, I have a low chance for Burlington, Vermont. Places probably about as far south as about Albany, New York, all of Maine, and the northern sections of New Hampshire and Vermont all could see some storms, as well as possibly up north of the border towards Montreal. So that's your Thursday future radar. We're going to start in the northeast and work our way west. We have a chance as these storms kind of come in from the north to south. Anything isolated, very similar to what we've seen the last few days. I finally just put a hail risk in there after swinging and missing the past couple days, where I go, I don't think there's going to be too much. And then lo and behold, we get some in Maryland, we got stuff in Connecticut, we got stuff in Brooklyn. So looks like we'll actually see some stuff a little further north this time, a little less people, a little bit more Ben & Jerry's ice cream. So looking at for New England and here in Oklahoma and the Central Plains, you see those storms forming in the afternoon, the heating of the day. Any of the storms that form off of Colorado into Nebraska or into Kansas, that could see up to some golf ball size hail. This activity in Oklahoma, maybe some quarters, and then finally up further north into the Dakotas, we could see some up to golf ball size hail as well in South Dakota and parts of central North Dakota. That will wind down this evening, fairly early, at least July speaking. It'll be about 11 o'clock or so when things wind down tonight. And looking at your Friday, again, we will not have a video tomorrow. We'll just have a post for this, especially because it is a lot of the same. Up here in the Northern Plains, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, parts of Wyoming where there's very few people. This is pretty much what we're seeing the last few days, and we're going to see the next few days as well. Up to that golf ball size hail, unless something goes really crazy, and you can see maybe one rogue storm with some tennis balls, but for the most part, up to golf balls, Rapid City, Bismarck, Billings, you guys get the drill at this point. That's going to be your Friday's chance. Wouldn't be surprised if we have to throw in another little swath somewhere off in the east where they'll just pop up storms in the afternoon could happen. This is what we're looking at future radar for tomorrow, kind of similar to today, just a tiny bit further west. And finally, taking a quick look at July 4th, and lo and behold, it's the same stuff, different day. So this is going to be on your July 4th. We will still be mapping storms on the 4th of July in terms of a forecast, especially because this and Minneapolis and all those areas don't really look too promising. The forecast will maybe kind of delayed, but overall looks like a fairly quiet 4th of July. So thankfully a lot of us here at Hail Trace can spend some time with friends and family for the holiday. So that's what we're looking at through the next few days, and I think Sunday's going to be pretty similar to that as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out any of our content. You can always watch on your television as well. You can check us out on Facebook, HC First. That way, anything we post ends up at the top of your newsfeed, especially if by some miracle we actually get a 3-star or bigger map over the holiday weekend. You don't want to miss out on that. And Instagram and Twitter, both at Hailtrace. Follow us on there as well. And give us a call, 855-334-4245. Any comments, questions, or concerns you may have, you got stuff at training, whatever it may be, it's a great number to call. You can email us as well, info@hailtrace.com if you don't feel like talking on the phone. And you can find out more details about Hailtrace, of course, as always, on our website at hailtrace.com. Hope you guys have a great holiday weekend here for the 4th of July. Shoot off some fireworks, practice social distancing, all that great stuff. And we will see you again on Monday for our daily hail forecast. So happy 4th, everybody. I'll see you on Monday.